Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvightam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Kesavam Badharayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishwaro Guru Ratmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Vavato Sahanau Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastuma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarchinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandhadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्कपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थितदद्गतेन मनसां पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यां तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः. Namaste once again, everyone.
Namaste Guruji, Pranam.
Daivameva pare yajnam yoginah paryupasate brahmagnava pare yajnam yajnenaivopajuhvati. So this is the sloka we are seeing. And in the previous sloka, Krishna highlighted the attitudinal change required in our journey to become a jnani. A jnani sees only Brahman everywhere. Sarvatra Brahma Darshanam. For him, everything is Brahman alone. And this is the culmination of Advaita Darshan. Then only you come to Advaita. As long as you are, even if you identify the entire world as created by Ishvara and therefore Ishvara, if you are not able to see yourself and everything as one and one only Brahman alone, then you are still in Dvaita only, not in Advaita. And in this sloka, Krishna is showing the contrast in the attitude between a karma yogi and a jnani. He says that some jnana yogis, or say jnanis, offer the very self by the self into the fire of Brahman. Remember, we are discussing the various yajna sadhanas which Krishna is now describing. So he says some jnana yogis or jnanis offer the very self by the self into the fire of Brahman. Others, that is the karma yogis, perform deva yajna alone. Therefore, from the grossest action of eating onwards, up to the greatest yaga, which Krishna terms as yajna, And along with those yajnas, Krishna adds self-knowledge also as a yajna. Even the very study of scriptures, Shravanam itself, comes under a type of yajna only. And that is why those who are aware of this, the Gita talk series was given the name Jnana Yajna by Swami Chinmayanandaji. Because even talking or teaching Gita, listening to Gita, learning Gita is all a yajna. And interestingly, when Swami Chinmayanandaji used to call them yajna, people thought that it is some big homa kundam will be there and they will go and do all these things. They will get some prasada and all that. So when they went to the lecture hall, they started looking, where is the fire, where is the homa kundam and all. Then they came out and said that, it's very surprising. They said that Chinmayanandaji is going to conduct a Jnana Yajna. We went there, but we saw no fire or no homa kundam, etc. Krishna here is now teaching a very beautiful concept. For Yajna, you don't need a fire, you don't need a homa kundam, etc. Everything that you do in your life, every small action that you do in your life with sincerity, commitment, as your contribution to the cosmic powers, is a yajna only. And if you consider each one as an yajna, as a prayer, as an offering to Bhagawad, the quality of your action itself is enhanced multifold. You will never ever think of doing anything adharmic. And here Krishna is pointing out, he is first, he will enumerate all the yajnas. And here he points out in this sloka that Brahma Jnana Yajna, the yajna to teach Brahma Jnanam, the yajna to learn Brahma Jnanam is the greatest spiritual sadhana. And all other yajnas are subservient to, they are only subsidiary to Brahma Yajna Jnana. It does not mean that other yajnas are useless. Krishna does not say that the other yajnas are useless. All yajnas are useful, but none of them will directly lead to the Lord or Brahman. They can all lead maximum to Jnana Yajna alone. Any puja you do ultimately can lead you up to coming to the Vedanta class. And any Vedanta Vichara class is meant for gaining Jnanam or self-knowledge alone. And Jnanam alone can directly lead to Bhagavan, or to understand the real meaning of Aham Brahmasmi, the Mahavakya. Therefore, all other yajnas, we can call them as parampara sadhanam, or indirect means. They are means, no doubt, but they are not direct means. And Jnana Yajna alone is sakshat sadhanam, the direct means for moksha. This we must understand very clearly, and this is what Krishna is pointing out in this sloka. It's like, Swami Paramathanandaji gives a nice example. If you want to remove darkness from a room, what will you do? You will light a lamp. For that, what you will do? You will first get hold of a lamp. You can put the wick in that, then pour the oil. You have a matchstick. You will light the lamp. All this, the lamp, the wick, the oil, the matchstick, they are all very useful and very important for lighting the lamp. Without that, you cannot light the lamp. But ultimately, what removes the darkness is not the lamp. All these things do not remove the darkness. It is not the oil, the lamp itself, an unlit lamp itself cannot remove darkness. The oil cannot remove darkness. The wick cannot remove darkness. What removes darkness is that flame of the lamp alone. Therefore, the flame alone is sakshat sadhanam, direct means for removing the darkness. Everything else is only parampara sadhanam. So all other sadhanas, all other yajnas which you do are incomplete without jnana yoga. In fact, it is jnana yoga alone which makes all other sadhanas meaningful. Jnana yoga validates your bhakti. Jnana yoga alone validates your shraddha, and it alone validates sandhya vandanadi karmas. Jnana yoga alone validates all your pilgrimages, all your dhanams that you do. Whatever religious sadhanas that you have been doing, not only in this janma, but even in the past janmas, they all become meaningful only when they lead to jnana yajna. So Krishna wants to say that you may all do all the sadhanas, but one day or the other, you have to come to jnanam. And suppose you say, Guruji, I don't like jnana. Then we say, continue the other sadhanas. Don't stop them. As even you practice the other sadhanas, sooner or later, you will like to become jnana. You will begin to like jnanam. If not now, maybe after 10 years, after 15 years, even after 50 years, or even in the next janma, or perhaps 50 janmas down the line, you are bound to like jnana. So one day or the other, every jiva in a human birth will have to come to jnanam and attain liberation. And this is going to be the teaching which starts from this 25th sloka onwards. And here Krishna is now enumerating the various yajnas. If you recall, at the beginning of the 3rd chapter, Krishna told Arjuna, Lokesmin dvivida nishta. He had given Maya Prokta Maya Nagar. Right? Okay. Very difficult to remember all the slokas word by word. Anyhow. Maya Lokesmin Dvivida Nishta Maya Prokta. I have given the world 2 committed lifestyles. One lifestyle is sannyasa, wherein the commitment, the nishta, is pursuit of knowledge alone. The other lifestyle is karma yoga, a life of activity, wherein the pursuit of knowledge is coupled with karma. And Krishna also made it clear that both the lifestyles are for the sake of what? Moksha or liberation. But there is a difference between the 2 lifestyles. Karma yoga is what? Parampara sadhanam, indirect sadhana for moksha. Whereas jnana yoga is the sakshat sadhanam, direct means for knowledge. And in this sloka, he continues to explore these 2 lifestyles a bit more. So in this version, the discussion, both karma yogi and sannyasi are discussed. Karma yogi is talked about in the first line. Daiva me va pare yagyam yoginav paryupasate. He says, apare yoginaha. Some yogis, meaning the karma yogis, they are engaged in performing rituals. Daiva yagyam eva paryupasate. The Lord or the Lord in the form of a deity is always kept in view during Karma Yoga. Anything that is done with the Lord or a deity, a Deva, anything done keeping a Deva in view is called Daiva. Indra is a Deva, Agni is a fire is a Deva, Aditya, the sun is a Deva. So many Devas we have got. We have got 33 crore Devas. Thus, any action done invoking their grace is called Daivam Karma. So, Daiva Yagyam is a Vedic ritual, like Agnihotra, in which various devatas are invoked. Agnaye Swaha, Prajapataye Swaha, Brihaspataye Swaha, all that Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. When we do and offer oblations in the fire, everything is invoking one devata or the other. It is this ritualistic yajna is the first sadhana or first yajna Krishna talks about in this sloka. Karma yogis worship in this way, and karma yogis do not see everything as Brahman as a sannyasi does. Karma yoga is meant for preparing the minds for the knowledge that will lead to moksha. We have discussed all these things, of course, in the previous discussion on karma yoga. So, no, I don't want to repeat all of them. So, these karma yogis are simply performing rituals invoking the devatas, invoking the Lord's grace for gaining what? Antakarana shuddhi, chitta shuddhi, purity of mind. That is their only goal while doing the karma yoga sadhanas. It is not meant for any other end. And we know that this verse is not referring to those who perform ritual for ends other than Antakarana Shuddhi, like going to heaven, Swargadi Loka. How do we know that? Because here Krishna refers to those people as yogis. Those who are not yogis may perform rituals for sake of gaining children, wealth, heaven, so many things. There are hundreds of rituals in the Vedas which can produce various types of results. And the people who perform them are called Kamya Karmis, not Karma Yogis. And therefore, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, Puja Swamiji says, because of the word Yoginaha is used in this verse, we know that the people under discussion who do the Deva Yajna is referring to Karma Yogis who perform rituals for Antakarana Shuddhi alone. They don't perform the rituals for any other materialistic gain. And these rituals, they are performed so meticulously. Meaning what? That they are performed with Shraddha, with faith, alertness, careful adherence to the rules which are prescribed in the Vedas. He uses the word paryupasate. This word contains of two sections. Upasate is the main verb. Pari is the prefix. This prefix pari conveys the sense of meticulousness with which the yajnas are performed to invoke the grace of the devatas. So the karma yogis paryupasate daiva yajna. They do all these daiva yajna for antakarana shuddhi. Then in the second line he says, Brahmagna apare yagyam yajnainevopajuhvati. So here also he used the word apare. But here we should take the meaning as others. When apare is used 2 times in a sentence, the first apare is some, the second apare is others. And it is used here to distinguish the sannyasis from the karma yogis. And in the expression Brahmagnav, the fire of Brahman, fire stands for knowledge, the knowledge of Brahman. The word yajna, besides meaning ritual and discipline, means Atma, also the self. Because there is a sacrifice involved for one who pursues knowledge, knowledge also can be looked upon as yajna, and therefore it is called jnana yajna. In any other type of yajna, there must be a performer of the yajna, isn't it? So there is a performance distinction is there. Here, the performance of this jnana yajna is the person who is seeking jnana, a mumukshu or a jignasu, one who wants to know. And this verse points out that the seeker offers himself or herself as the oblation into the jnana yajna. Since the seeker alone is offered, who is that who is doing the offering? If the seeker were offered unto the fire by someone else, you can understand. It would be a simple case of homicide. But here, because the seeker offers himself or herself, even though technically you can call it a suicide and not homicide, or maximum willing suicide. These are all, of course, Puja Swamiji, refers to them like that. I mean, he discusses in this manner. But so far as we are concerned, the offerer is Brahman. What is offered is Brahman, with which offered is Brahman. We have seen in the previous sloka. Everything is Brahman. So one offers oneself, yagyam yagyena upajuhvati. So here, yagyam means the self. Yajna means the self. Second case, yagyam. So unto the fire of Brahman is offered what? When you say the self, what are you referring to? Are you referring to the Sachidananda Atma? No. Here the self we are referring to is the self that we have been taking ourselves to be all along, the ahankara, the ego. So the ignorant person looks upon himself or herself as the one who is performing the yajna, who has the doership and enjoyership, who has got the kartritvam and bhoktritvam, because he or she takes the body, mind, and sense complex to be the self. It is this small person, the limited person, the seeker, who is offered unto the fire of Brahman, the knowledge of Brahman. So if jnana yajna is compared to a yajna, what is offered is the lower self, the ego, the jivatma. That is the oblation. Unto what is the offering done? Krishna says to Paramatma. Here Paramatma represents the fire, or the fire represents the Paramatma, the higher self. Brahma Gnav, Brahma Agni. And what are we supposed to do through Gita study? We are supposed to resolve the lower I, the arrogant I, ahankara I, into the higher I, into the Brahman I. So the limited I should be resolved into the limitless I through this jnana yajna. See how beautifully Krishna brings out all these concepts. Of course, Krishna has said this. It is our gurus who have actually helped us in understanding all these beautiful concepts. And Swami Paramatmanji gives another beautiful example. Just as the wave, take the wave in an ocean, it was all along mistaking itself as a finite wave. I will be born, I will rush towards the seashore, and then I will, when I return, I will get resolved. I will no longer exist. Then the new wave will be born. So a wave thought itself to be a limited wave all along until it got the knowledge of its limitlessness. This finite wave was worried. I have a date of birth or a time of birth. I'm sure I'm going to die because I am going towards the shore. And sooner or later, I am going to perish. And that wave may also think, I want to give this parting advice to my son waves and daughter waves, which are all there, potentially there. And the son and daughter waves are crying. And the mother and father waves are also crying. Without us, how are they going to live, son and daughter waves? So this wave is worried about birth, death, separation, limitation, etc. And then comes along a guru wave and tells them that when you take yourself to be a wave and say, I am a wave, you are referring, what you are referring to is the smaller I. You have to shift your vision from the smaller I, from the perishable wave name and form, and identify with the water I. So the wave I, the ego I, the smaller I, you resolve it into the water I, the ocean I, the bigger I. And the moment the wave says, I am water, I am not a wave, I am water in the form of a wave, then what additional change takes place? It will no longer say, I am a perishable wave. It says, Na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhujah ajo nitya shashvato yam purana na hanyate hanyamane sharire. It gets that wisdom. I am not a perishable wave. This name and form of a wave may go, may come and go, but I, the water, I am the water, pervading all waves, small or big. And I, the water, never dies. I'm always there. Even when I, the water, am evaporated, I may not be in liquid form, but I continue to exist in a gaseous form, in a cloud form. I continue to exist in rainwater form. I continue. In the form of rivers, I continue. I never disappear. I am the immortal water. And that is called offering of the wave I, the smaller or wave I into the water I. Offering of the seeker himself, the ego of the seeker unto the knowledge of Brahmasmi. Of course, this offering is only figurative. We must understand. Whenever I say wave is offered unto water, there is no physical action involved. It is only a change of my attitude, change in my understanding. Until now, I was sitting on the shore of a sea, looking at the beautiful waves. But waves are beautiful. Small waves, big waves, they're all beautiful. Huge waves are there. Some waves could be overwhelming, right? But enjoyable. All waves are enjoyable. Until now, I have been saying this wave, that wave, enjoying everything. But now, when I understood that all these waves are nothing but name and form, when I come to the stage, when I say, when I was saying this is a wave, I am now saying this is water. There is no wave, there is only water. It is water which is appearing in the form of a wave. Similarly, I can offer this desk in which I am using to wood. How do I offer? There is no action involved. Until now, I said this is a desk. What do? I shift my vision and say this is wood. When I say this is a desk, it is perishable. When I say this is wood, it will continue to exist, if not in desk form, in chair form or any other form. Even when you break down the desk, the wood is still there, which gets used in another form. Therefore, here the oblation or offering is purely an intellectual job. It is a cognitive change which happens in the intellectual. It is a change in understanding. And that is what is called Jnana Yajna. And this job is done by whom? By the Jivatma himself, who has been all along taking himself to be separate from Paramatma. Therefore, the second sentence refers to, or what we should understand is, Jivatma offers the Jivatma itself unto the fire of Paramatma. This is called Jnana Yajna. And that is why in Srimad Bhagavada Purana, Navavida Bhakti is described. 9 types of devotion. I hope many of you will know, especially Vaishnavites would know, because they follow this Navavida Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vishnopada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. These are the 9 levels of bhakti. And highest level of bhakti is what? Atma Nivedanam. Because in all other bhaktis, previous levels, I offer many naivedyams like payasam, modakam, asha bhubam, gula bhubam, milk, fruits, etc. I offer everything, but I retain myself as a separate entity. And not only that, in this puja, I do not offer myself. But what happened? This puja, the 8 forms of bhakti which I do, can often lead to more ego instead of humility. Oh, I did this puja. I did this what is that called? Donation. I did this Annadanam where 10,000 people ate. Ego, more and more ego. It actually boosts the ego. All these pujas, etc. And we can see this, there are people who donate, make offerings like fans, tube lights, etc. to temples, schools, etc. But they ensure one thing, that their names are written boldly. If it is a white color fan, they will write it in red color so that everybody can see it very clearly. Everybody should know who the donor is. Oh, next time they will meet somebody in the temple. I am so and so and so. Oh, you are so and so and so. You are the person who donated this fan. You'll say, yeah, I did it. Boosting the ego more and more. Every dhanam he does, he makes sure that it is properly photographed, put on Facebook, shared on WhatsApp to everybody, and everybody will say, oh, wow, great. You are a great person. You are a devotee. In fact, I find, many people who claim to be seekers, they also use Facebook, very, very often in order to showcase what all they are doing in the process of their seeking, in the process of their spiritual journey. For them, it is not sufficient that what they are doing, they know. They want the world to know I am doing this. Anyhow, that's a different topic. I have my own views on all those things. Some people say we do it because we want to inspire others to do what we are doing. Well, it's debatable. Anyhow, so all other pujas, I offer everything, but the ego of the offerer is retained. The ultimate offer is what? It is that in which the very offerer is offered. Tyaja dharma adharmamscha ube satyanrite tyaja ube satyanrite tyaktva yena tyajati tat tyaja. Beautiful lines. Offer everything to the Lord and ultimately offer that I by which you have said, I have offered, I have offered, I have offered. 50,000 times you may say, I. That I itself you have to offer. And that is called Atma Nivedana Bhakti. So if you ask a bhakta, what have you offered? He will say, when I myself am not there, where is the question of I being there to offer something? When I am not there, where is the question of my offering? So this ninth bhakti is called Atma Nivedanam, and that can happen only through Jnanam. And it is this Atma Nivedana Bhakti, the highest form of bhakti, the highest offering that is talked about here. And in fact, when we come to the 18th chapter, I will again repeat this or I will highlight this. The significance of this sloka in the 18th chapter, which again is a sloka which is misinterpreted left, right, and center, is Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Atma Nivedana Rupa Jnana Yoga Bhakti alone is being talked about in the 18th sloka when Krishna concludes Sarvadharman Parityajya, give up all other type of karmas. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, offer yourself unto my Swarupa, unto my Brahma Swarupa. Therefore, Krishna says, Yagyena Yajnam Upajihvati, Jivatma offers the Jivatma unto the Paramatma. And everybody cannot practice this Jnana Yajna because it requires a lot of qualification. It requires tremendous maturity called Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. Therefore, only very rare people practice this Jnana Yoga Yajna. But many others, all others, not all others, because there is third category who don't do anything at all. Neither Deva Yajna, nor Jnana Yajna. So those who do Deva Yajna, they perform, they follow, they practice Deva Yajna. Some rare people follow Jnana Yajna. So having said this much, in the following slokas, Krishna goes on to describe the other yajnas. After which he would again come back and he will glorify Jnana Yajna. We must remember, The yajnas mentioned in the next few verses are not rituals at all. We must understand them as disciplines, as sadhanas, spiritual sadhanas, whose purpose is to accomplish moksha by what? Antakarana shuddhi. And they are all considered to be yajnas. And such disciplines, they can accomplish two ends. One is a certain composure, a certain tranquility, a certain steadiness of mind. And the second is that one can accomplish maturity, freedom from control by one's raga dveshas, likes and dislikes, that hold one as an hostage. You can release yourself from the shackles by prayers and rituals, which help you to gain certain attitudes. These disciplines, these yajnas can also help you gain alertness, and they are performed by sannyasis and karma yogis alike. They may be practiced in order to gain moksha or even for lesser results, such as certain degree of composure or discipline in one's life, so that the other disciplines follow. There is no rule governing which disciplines are to be performed by whom. You may choose what is suitable to you, what you like. You may choose one or the other, depending upon also what you need at a particular point in time. Thus, a few disciplines performed as yajnas are mentioned by Krishna. We have seen this in another form in Tattva Bodha and all that, those who are Tattva Bodha students. Krishna uses different vocabulary to say the same thing. So it's not nothing new, rather. It's all part and parcel of sadhana chatushtaya sampatti that we have been talking about. And sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, as I told you, is the first qualification any spiritual seeker requires. One has to practice this for a very long time. Sadhana chatushtaya sampatti helps you to break your attitudes, break your practices, break your habits, break your understandings. So sadhana chatushtaya sampatti is the foundation on which the entire spiritual knowledge is built upon. And here in these slokas, Krishna is going to talk about the very same sadhana chatushtaya, or I would say different aspects of that sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. So read the next sloka. Shrotraadinindriyanyanye sayyamagnishu juhvati shabdadin vishayanyanya indriyagnishu juhvati. The Anvaya of this sloka is Anye juhvati shrotra adini indriyani sayyama agnishu. Anye juhvati shabda adin vishayan indriya agnishu juhvati. So here two yajnas are talked about. And what is the two fires, Sayyam Agni and Indriya Agni? That two fires he is talking about. Again, figurative. Everything Agni is figurative, right? Let's see the word meanings. Anye, some. Shrotra Adini Indriyani. The sense organs like ears. Ears means eyes, smell and all that. You can add all that. Juhvati, offer. Sayyam Agnishu, into the fire of self-control. Anye, others. Juhvati, offer. Shabda Adin Vishayan, the sense objects like sound, etc. Indriya Agnishu, into the fire of the sense organs. Everything is a yajna, everything is an offering in the spiritual process. When you offer, you renounce. No longer belongs to you. You have offered it. So some offer the sense organs like the ears into the fire of sense control. Others offer the sense objects like sound, etc. into the fire of sense organs. This is the simple meaning of sloka. So as I said, in this sloka, two more yajnas are enumerated. The first line the yajna talked about is the sensory discipline. Sensory discipline is called Indriya Sanyamaha. We have seen this. What is the name given in Tattva Bodha? Tamaha. There is an Indriya Nigraha. Here he says Indriya Sanyamaha. So here again, no physical fire or physical oblations are involved. Mere sense control. And sense control, mind you, does not mean suppression. We must remember always that the scriptures never recommend suppression at any time. Because according to us, suppression is as dangerous as indulgence is. So what we are talking about is mastery over the sense organs because of my understanding. In suppression, the action is done because somebody else's pressure, because of somebody else's pressure. Somebody is putting a pressure on you, whereas in damaha or indriya nigraha or indriya sanyamaha, somebody else does not force me, but I myself decide. I need to have the sensory discipline for my own benefit, for my own spiritual journey. And here, Indriya Sanyamaha is not a forced thing, but I myself choose to forego certain things so that I can have mastery over my sense organs. Even food habits, I choose to forego eating certain things, which I have been all along eating without any problem. But I voluntarily use my free will to give up certain food. Because food is the biggest weakness of humankind. That is why so many restaurants are there offering so many different cuisines. People find it really boring and monotonous to cook at home. So whenever they get time, they want to go out and eat in restaurants. And if you can gain mastery over that habit, it's a very big spiritual progress rather. Therefore, it's a voluntary and will-based discipline arising out of my understanding of what needs to be done for my spiritual progress. And that is called yajna. So if this is a yajna, what is offered? Again, to understand this, you should have a figurative perception. Learn to look at things figuratively. When a person practices sense control or sense restraint, or you can sense management, what he destroys or offers is the undisciplined sense organs. The undisciplined sense organs are offered unto sensory discipline. It's as though offered. Because when you offer the oblation, what happens? What is offered disappears. When you offer ghee into the fire, after the oblation, ghee is no more there, no longer there. Similarly, in this oblation, when you offer the undisciplined sense organ into the fire of self-discipline, the undisciplined sense organs disappear. So in this oblation, what disappears is the wild sense organs, untamed sense organs, they disappear. And in their place is taken disciplined, mastered sense organs. And therefore, since there is an offering and there is a fire, it is called yajna. Indiscipline is offered unto discipline. So this is called dhamma yajna. Shrotra adini indriyani Sayyama Agnishu Juhvati. Third yajna. First he talked about Daiva yajna, then Brahma yajna, then now he is talking about what? Dhamma yajna. Then the fourth yajna he talks about in the second line is Vishaya Bhoga yajna, we can call. Because in the previous yajna, that's the third one, I do not allow the sense organs to be indulgent. Because when the sense organ begin to become my master, I become a slave. So if I sense that I am developing any sensory weakness as a sadhaka, I say no to that. For example, some people are addicted to taking coffee as soon as they wake up, especially South India. Or North India, maybe they take tea rather. So either coffee or tea, some addiction is there. And they become a slave to this habit. They feel that their whole day will be ruined without this morning cup of coffee or tea. In fact, many people even claim that if they don't have that morning coffee, they develop a headache and things like that. Some people require that coffee to go to the washroom, to do their morning activities. But we must understand it very carefully. If I am taking the coffee in the morning as a matter of my choice, what will happen? If I get the coffee, I will take. If I don't get it, I am not worried about it. It is no longer an addiction. Some days I may have the coffee. Some other days I may not have. Then you can have morning coffee. No problem, because you are the master who decides whether you should have the coffee or not. You are not a slave to that habit of having morning coffee. And you have the freedom. You can stop the morning coffee at any time you want. And that is why, I always feel that in the spiritual progress, a certain amount of time spent in the Gurukulam or an ashram is very, very important. That helps you to break so many habits that you have developed, indisciplined habits you have developed staying at home. Even if you cannot go and study there, that's why, Swamiji's, they organize, 1 week, 2 week camps, etc. You can certainly take time off if you are really a spiritual seeker to attend these camps. They are all held mostly in places where you will be not getting many of the things that you are used to. So you slowly start learning, understanding. All along you thought XY thing was very important in your life. Without that, you cannot lead your life. When you go for 2 weeks away without morning coffee, you will understand that I was under a misunderstanding. I thought without coffee, I can't do anything. Here I am not getting my morning coffee in this camp, in this ashram, but I am still able to do everything. Maybe 1 or 2 days there will be some problems, but later on you settle down and you have no problem. So even if you are not able to go for a long-term course, etc., attending for really serious spiritual seekers, attending these 1 week, 2 weeks camp conducted by various Swamijis. Of course, there are people who conduct the camp for totally different purpose, in the sense that they want to show themselves that they conducted a camp. They are still, even though they claim to be spiritual pursuers, they are still in the realm of the lower I only. But if the camp is conducted by, say, Swami Paramathananda or Swami Puja Swamiji or other, great Mahatmas, one should attend if you are a serious spiritual seeker. That will help in all these process of Dhamma, Shama, Uparama, all that, what we have discussed in Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. So, when you are able to enjoy the sense pleasures legitimately, morally, keeping them under control, your control, when I enjoy those sense pleasures from a position of strength, from a position of mastery, I can consider that enjoyment itself as a type of yajna. Previously, when I say no to morning coffee, that becomes a yajna. Here, where I am enjoying the sense pleasures, that itself becomes another type of yajna. And in this yajna, what is the oblation and what is the homa kunda? We can say that all the sense organs are the homa kundas, the turf in which the fire is there, and there are 5 homa kundas. In fact, the Upanishad say there are 7 homa kundas: 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, and 1 mouth. Mundaka Upanishad, there is a mantra which says, Sapta prana prabhavanti tasma saptarchishas samidhas sapta homa sapta ime loka yeshu charanti prana guhashaya nita sapta sapta. So in this homa, for this homa, there are 7 homa kundas. What are they and what are we offering? We are offering varieties of forms and colors into the eyes. That is the offering. We are offering varieties of sounds into the ear homa kunda. The yaga is continuously going on. And this yaga is called Vishaya Bhoga Yajna. And in this yaga, even eating is included. Because I am offering varieties of taste to the tongue rather. And therefore, Bhagavan Krishna says, Anye, some other people, Shabda Adin Vishayan. They offer varieties of sensory stimuli like Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. They offer unto all these homa kundas. And therefore, this is the yajna. More of this we will see in the next class. Continue. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Thank you,
Namaste,
Guruji.
Guruji. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Thank you. You.
Namaskaram, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Are you? Namaskaram.
Guruji, that 9, this thing of the Vaishnava thing, what you said, is it possible for you to just send it to me via text? I don't want.
I will do.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Navavida Bhakti.
Yeah.
Very nice. I mean, our scriptures have got so much, if you are inclined for that. There is no, you will have no time for anything else. Just keep on reading and learning.
Yeah.
Bhagavata Purana talks about it. Beautiful.
Mm.
Yes,
Thank you.
Hariji, your hands are up. Hari Om. Namaste.
Guruji, it is slightly different than what you taught today. Can you brief very roughly what is the difference between Tyaga and sannyasa.
Sannyasa is the culmination of all the tyagas that you do as you are progressing in your spiritual path. You must not understand sannyasa as a one-time event. It is a built-up which culminates in sannyasa, total renunciation. And it is a mental attitude. It is not physical renunciation, which is important. Of course, if the physical renunciation is accompanied by a mental renunciation, no problem. But physical renunciation is not necessary. Even being a grihastha. I mean, a very simple example I do. I'll give rather. Suppose you have been eating all sorts of things, right? One fine day you say, I want to now do one yajna. What is that? Onion garlic yajna. I want to offer onion and garlic unto the fire of my self-control, my sensory, my taste buds. I want to offer that. So you give up onion and garlic, right? Your whole family will rebel. They will say, what nonsense, we have to now cook separately for you. You're putting us into trouble. And your choices become very limited. You can't go and eat in a restaurant because I am doing this and I can tell you firsthand what problems you come across when you just give up 2 items of your food. You're not given up anything else. Go to a restaurant, you will not get anything without onion and garlic. People may, you go to, even today, I've seen Brahmin weddings, you go, they put onion and garlic. Once upon a time, it was not there.
Yeah, very much, very much.
Very much. Every wedding, onion, garlic, everything they use. So you go to a wedding, you will end up only eating curd rice and maybe some pickle. Pickle also in many places, they put garlic in the pickle.
Garlic.
So what sannyasa is, we must understand. It is not that one time you suddenly wake up like they see in the films and all that, you run away from home and go to Rishikesh. No. If you are in the spiritual path, small things, you start renouncing them. And when you start renouncing, when you learn to renounce small things, the tyaga that you do, renouncing them, will ultimately culminate in your giving up all your attachments, the shackles of samsara in which you were bound all along. So sannyasa, we must understand, is not the starting point of giving up. In fact, it is the culmination of the attitude of giving up. And you can say whatever is very dear to you, you give up that. This is, in short, I can tell what is the difference between tyaga and sannyasa.
Can we say tyaga is a physical action and sannyasa is a mental attitude?
See, for any action, there has got to be a mental attitude preceding it. Right?
Okay.
Because first you have to develop the attitude, even for giving up a small thing.
Yeah.
You have to develop an attitude to give up.
Yeah.
In sannyasa, you are giving up your entire relationship with this world, which was special relationship. You are converting your entire special relationship with the world into general relationship. You are giving up all the special relationships. You are giving all Agni karmas in sannyasa. You are even giving up the relationship that you have had all along with your thread as a Brahmana. All along you are saying, I am a Brahmin, I am Brahmin. Now you have got only one, I am a sannyasi. I don't have any caste, I don't have any creed, I don't have any country, I don't have any, even sex I don't have. I am a neutral, totally neutral. Not physically, mentally, attitude-wise. That is sannyasa.
So what is Tyaga then?
Tyaga is, see, that's what I'm saying. Tyaga is a physical action. Sannyasa is a physical action. If it culminates in physical action. But both for Tyaga and Sannyasa, what is required, both has to be preceded by the attitude of giving up, attitude of renunciation.
So how do we differentiate?
Why should you differentiate? What are you going to achieve by differentiating? Why should you even think of differentiating? You can maximum differentiate. Tyaga is done step by step by step. Sannyasa is total renunciation. You go on doing whatever is left. It is like sannyasa is a purna ahuti.
Yes.
When you are doing a homa or a yajna, you offer oblations, you may offer, so many different items into the fire. Finally, what you do? All these are offerings only. As long as you are doing the homa, you are doing offering ghee, you offer rice, cooked rice you offer. Maybe if you are doing Ganapathy homa, you will offer modak, you will offer some appam, etc. So many things you offer into the fire. What is Purna Ahuti? Purna Ahuti is to take everything and offer everything finished into the Agni. So, sannyasa is like Purna Ahuti. All other offerings all other tyagas are like small offerings along the spiritual path that you do. That is, if at all you want to look at the difference, this is the difference. Difference is in its dimension. Others are small one. This is complete renunciation. Sannyasa is complete renunciation. That is what it is. But if you ask me, what is more important, to develop that attitude of complete renunciation, you have to practice it by developing this attitude of renouncing small things. That is important. Otherwise, sannyasa is meaningless. You will still be going and sitting in an ashram and thinking about the Vangaya sambar that your wife used to cook. Onion sambar. Oh, such a tasty sambar I have left and come here. Here, these people don't even allow onion or garlic to enter the premises. All that regrets you will have.
So
So
can we say that in effect Tyaga leads to sannyasa?
Yes.
sannyasa is tyaga only. It is only, as I said, the scale of the tyaga is different. Every giving up is a tyaga only. Tyaga means tyaja, give up, that's all. Sannyasa is also tyaja, as I said. Sannyasa is what? Ultimately offering your own ego into the fire of Brahman. The smaller I does not ceases to exist. You are offered that. That is the biggest tyaga, Atma Nivedanam, as I said.
Yeah.
That is sannyasa.
These are two different words.
Exactly. The concept is the same. I mean, like, for example, I'll give you another example. There is somebody who is a national level cricket player. Let's say in today's this thing, say, what's it? Rohit Sharma, what's it? Or other fellow.
Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli. Do you think that straight away they become Virat Kohli? They played so many matches, small matches. And then at the Ranji Trophy level, state level and all that. They would have started from school, small matches playing. So all those practice, playing small matches, Ranji Trophy, this, that and all, ultimately culminates in their playing for the country. So similarly, all these small tyagas that you have to do that, in fact. One cannot just wake up at 17, 18 years old. I am going to be selected into the Indian cricket team. Never will happen.
Never. They have sacrificed a lot.
They have sacrificed so much and doing that small practices, playing. You know the life of these cricketers, they have no family life at all. And if you are a really very good cricketer, you keep on traveling. From this match to that match, from this place to another place. They are the biggest victims of any health problem because everything keeps changing for them. Water changes, place of stay changes. They have to get up early morning, go to the practice and things like that. They can't afford to sleep for a long time. So everything involves a sacrifice. Everything involves a tyaga. That is how ultimately you come to that test player stage. Similarly, a spiritual for a spiritual person, what is the test? Highest test? Can you become a sannyasi? Attitudinally, can you become a total sannyasi? Give up everything, all your relationships. Or, as I said, not giving up relationship. Giving up relationship means converting special relationships into general relationships. Don't have any special. Whole world is my relative. I treat the entire world as my relative. I will give the same, attention to everyone in the world, including animals, including plants, not all jivas. In fact, that is the ultimate sannyasa, indication of sannyasa. You move towards that through these small tyagas, small yagyas, to put it in the language of these slokas. Is that clear now?
Okay.
Aryo, thank you.
Aryo.
Anybody else? Any other question?
Thank you very much, Guruji. Thank you.
Aryo, thank you all.
Hari.
Aryo.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste, pranam.
Aryo, pranam.